In this short video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up one account uh, using Educreations that your students will each use. So it'll just be one account that you'll use for all the students. This will be similar to what I talked about in the short video explaining how to set up one Evernote account for all the students to share. There should be a link popping up that you can click on if you would like to watch that video. Um, we'll get started talking about Educreations. Here you can see I've gone to the website to get started by setting up an account. What I'm going to want to do is I want to sign up for free for an account. And with this, I'm going to choose it to be a teacher. And here's where you're going to enter your name, last name, email, password. For this, what I used for the generic account that all the students will share is I just used my self-created Gmail that I use for all the student iPads, that I am the only one that has access to that account. So right here you can see here's the Gmail. It's just the iPads1f@gmail.com. So that's what I actually signed up for a single account for all my students to use. Once you've created that single account for all of your students to use, you'll be able to log into that account and you'll be able to see that up here my title is just 1F. It's just showing that that's my class that'll use this. You can see I have the option to create a lesson, browse some lessons, but this is basically, that's the gist of being able just to create one account for your students to all share. Now what this would look like on the iPad then is that each iPad that you have in your class, you would be using the same login. So let me show you here. So you can see here that I have an iPad for my students. And this is an example of what it would look like once you're signed in, and I'll show you that I know what I'm signed in as. If I click on that little gear down at the very bottom, you can see that it says logged in as 1F class. So what I would do on each of the iPads that we use in my class, I would go ahead and log in using that login that I created, the iPads1f@gmail. And I would have to log in on each iPad that is in my class set for those students to use. And that would give them all access without having to log in each and every time that they get onto the iPad. It usually helps for the younger students, that way they don't have to remember what the login and password is. This just lets it be that you have each iPad automatically signed in and they never have to go through typing username and passwords. So that's, again, just a short video showing you how you can create one shared account that all your students would use for Educreations. And you can see here that there's no lessons showing up. The nice thing about Educreations is if I click to make a new lesson here, I can go ahead and I can do a few things. I can record it here. Say this is how you make a smiley face. Once you're done, the students can then go ahead and save that lesson. They can choose to make it private or public, or just to view by the students in your class or the school. So I'm just going to set this into private. You can choose the subject area that you want, and then you can save it. You can see now that this shows up on the iPad, and it will actually automatically sign up on all of the other iPads that are signed into this account, since it's a shared account. So it'll automatically sync to all those other iPads. So it doesn't necessarily tie a student to a single iPad. It gives them the opportunity of creating a lesson and saving it, and then it'll actually end up showing up on all of the other iPads. Another nice feature of this, since it is a web-based version as well, if I go back to that dashboard, and then if I go ahead and I'll refresh this, if I click here, you can see now that that smiley face lesson that I made on the iPad will automatically show up here. If I click on it, it gives me the option that I can then take this URL and I can share it with parents. I can share it to a blog. The students can share it to a blog. So I'll talk more about that later. But again, this is just a one way that you can create one Educreations account that all of your students will utilize.